A very good afternoon to all of you. My today's subject is virus, worms and Trojans. As we all heard today, in today's life, viruses arise, viruses, worms, Trojans, which are affecting our computer system. And what are these? We will discuss all these three terms in detail. So viruses, worms and Trojans. Let's start with the introduction. When our computer says, I am sick, I caught by a virus, what it means? It means a computer virus is a computer program that can copy itself and infect a computer without the permission or knowledge of the owner. It means the owner is not known that the computer is infected by the virus, and some of the terms are arrived at your computer that some data is copied itself to multiple copies. So computer goes slower and slower. So some are the that are the will you notice the computer is going wrong, slow, and your files are infected. It means the computer virus arises into your computer. It is nothing but a software or a computer or a program that copy itself and infect your computer without your knowledge. And one of the first detected virus was the creeper. The name of the virus was creeper, which arises in the early 70s. Before the computer networks became widespread, the most viruses spread on the removable media, particularly on the floppy disk. As we can say, as the networks spread, the viruses do the same. As the computer networks became widespread, famous, the viruses is same as with the network, because the main media through which the viruses are spreading over the network is itself a network, because as we using the internet, the viruses come to our PC. So we will now discuss the basic viruses of what are the computer basics. The first is the Trojan horse. As we all know, the Trojan horse is the main virus that infect our computer. We will discuss in detail. Trojan horse is a virus that appears as interesting program file, but when installed, it allowed intruders to access and read your file. Means your personal data is being captured, your personal data is being being taken by some other intruders, an unauthorized person. The next type of virus is worm. These are the basic viruses, Trojan horse, worms. Worms you have listened. Worm is a virus that copies and manipulates itself by using computer networks and security flaws. So the main, when you notice the worm come to your PC, is it multiplies itself into the multiple copies. And next come the email virus. Email virus is come in the form of phishing attack, also known, obviously come by the emails. And when you use the email message to spread, which allow it to automatically forward itself to thousands of people, means once you click send, the virus will be sent to thousands of people in a one go. This virus can be spread by the broadcast method. Here are some another types of viruses are boot sector virus. As we all heard about this boot sector virus, which comes during the booting process as we start our computer. So it infects the boot or MBR of diskettes and hard drives through the sharing of infected disk and pirated software applications. Once your hard drive is infected, all disk that you use in your computer will be infected. Means once this virus came onto your PC, your all the hard drives, your all the data into your PCs will be infected by this. The next form of virus is the program virus. This program virus is become active when the program files like programs like which have the extensions like .bin, .com, .exe, .ovl drives carrying the virus to be opened. When this your executed file to be opened and your PC is having the program virus, they are automatically spread. And it then makes copies of itself and will infect other programs onto your computer. Means firstly they come with the .bin, .com, .exe files. Next type of virus is the multipirate virus. Multipirated virus is it is the hybrid of boot sector virus and the program virus. Means it can come during the booting process and with your executable file as well. and it infects the program files, and when the infected program is infected, it will infect the boot record, means your computer will not be start if this virus will come to your PC. And next type of virus is the stealth virus. This stealth virus is disuse itself to prevent from being detected by antivirus software. So you have to taken care when this type of virus came to your PC, and preventing, you have to taken care of the softwares. It alter its file sizes or conceal itself into the memory, like it append itself to your data, and the size of your data will be shown larger than the usual data or actual data. Then come the polymorphic virus. This polymorphic virus is, as the name says, act like a chameleon, changing its virus signature, means actually it is changing the signature of the virus, and every time it multiplies and infect a new file. So it is very difficult when the digital signature are continuously changing. So this virus became harmful. Next come the macroviruses. This macrovirus is programmed as macro embedded in a document, usually found in the Microsoft Word and Excel. Macros are the programs that are already inbuilt feature of the like secure root, like function any which are already defined, and these viruses affect those functions. The coding of those function means it it prevent the functioning of those macros into your file. And once it gets into your computer, every document you produce will become infected, means when this virus came to your PC is the through macros, and after that macros it gets to your computer, it will be infected. Next are some of the signs of your computer is infected, means how will you come to know your computer is being infected by the virus. Some of the signs are function slower than normal, means your PC will function slower, execution will be slower, your data the time taken to open your new file will be more than the usual. This is the one of the sign when you can imagine that the your computer is infected by the virus. The second is respond slowly and freeze often, means automatically freeze, hang. You normally use the word hang. Your PCs hang automatically and oftenly. Then restart itself. It taken restart again. You type on any of the field and it taken the restart. Then come the uncommon error messages, distorted menus and dialog boxes, means all the menus boxes which you seen on your PCs will be distorted. Sometimes it becomes larger, sometimes it not shown to the color being changed, etc. And the notice application failed to work correctly, means your applications which are already installed on your computer and being run very good, but after the virus is being come to your PC, these applications fail to work correctly, means they are not functioning well. Fail to print correctly, means sometime when you give your print command, it will not function properly, because the files drivers which are required to print the files or anything will be infected by the computer virus, and your PC will face these some of the signs that you have to notice. The function slower than normal, it responds slowly and freeze often, restart itself often, see uncommon error messages, distorted menus and the dialog boxes, and notice applications fails to work correctly and the fail to print correctly, means some of the features will not work when the virus will be come to your PC. Here are some we will discuss some of the computer virus history. In the history of the computer virus, first half of the 70s and 60s, early 70s, a rabbit named clone themselves occupied system resources, slowing down the productivity. Then the creeper came. The creeper is capable of entering a network by itself and transferring a copy of itself to the system. Then come in the early 80s, the increasing number of programs written by individuals and by software companies, and the program caused minor viruses called Trojan horse, means the Trojan horse comes in the 80s, which is also affected nowadays too. In the 1986, the one virus came, that is brain virus, that was created by Amjad and Basit Farooq Alvi. These two people created the brain virus, which helps the occupy the control of your computer, and it spread through the floppy disk generally, and infected boot records are not computer hard drives. And the Lahore, Pakistan, brain A and U, these are the viruses which will affect your computer. And it took over the free space of the floppy disk and hid from the detection disguise itself by displaying the uninfected boot sector on the disk. In the 1987, the Lehigh virus will arise. This is the virus which first memory resident file sector that attacked executable files and took control when a file was opened. And the Jolasm virus, this had bugs and reinfected programs that were already infected. In 1988, the Robert Morris made a worm that invaded APRANET computer. APRANET computer is the first computer over the network which is being managed on the network, and on that the first virus will be the Robert Morris. And this Robert Morris disabled 6,000 computers on the network by overflowing their memory banks with copies of itself, because worm is known to copies or multiplies itself to the various files, so it occupies your memory space. And in the 1991, the Norton antivirus software arises. This Norton antivirus has the capacity to block some of the features or the some of the intruders that are doing by the viruses will happen. And in 1999, the Melissa virus will come. This Melissa virus is the virus which named over some of the film star, and it infects thousands of computers very fast by sending copies of itself to 50 names in the address book or Outlook by email. And it led to an estimated $80 million in damage and record sales of antivirus products. In 2000, the I love you virus will come, which gives to such of the was sent by email and infect 10% of computers in only one day. And these are created by the young Filipino computer student who did not get punished, because then the Philippines had no laws against the hacking, which led to the European Global Cybercrime Treaty. Then comes in 2001, the Nimda virus, day after 9/11 will come. This virus had 5 ways of infecting system. In 2004, MyDoom spread through emails and file sharing software faster than any previous virus or worm. Allow hackers to access the hard drive of the infected computer. An estimated 1 million computers running Windows are affected by the fast spreading Caesar computer worm. The worm does not cause irreparable harm to the computer or data, but it does slow computers and cause some of the quit or reboot without explanation. In 2006, the discovery of the first ever malware, that is Trojan horse for Macintosh OS X computer will be evolved. In 2008, Torping is a Trojan horse which affects Windows turning off antivirus application. It allows others to access the computer, modifies data, steals confidential information and install malware on the victim's computer. In 2009, Conflicker infect anywhere from 9 to 5 million Microsoft server system. And French Air Force, Royal Navy warship at Submarines, Sheffield Hospital Network, MK Ministry of Defence, German Mundeshwar and Norwegian police were all infected by this virus, which comes in the 2009. And this is how viruses work. Here you see when the virus arrives, it can arrive through the internet. Most viruses show inside the email attachment, because virus is actually attached into the some file. Then these files are being opened and something pulls the trigger, or running or opening the file activate the virus, which insert copies of the itself into the files and other location onto your computer. When virus came, you open the file, viruses come to your PC, then what happened? Infection spreading. Like as all the flu spread, the virus is same as spreading. Today's virus can spread to the other system by automatically when viruses or email copies of themselves to another computer, and when this computer comes to the network of another computer, all same point after the trigger, the viruses perform as the programmed action from assuring your hard drive to the inserting jokes into your computer. And these are the total number of viruses by the year come to the PC. So how virus work? Virus come as an attachment, you open the attachment, it come to your PC, and when you run that file or activate or execute that file, the your PC will be infected by the viruses, and that one infected PCs come in connection with the other computers, and your computers are in January 85 only one computer is infected by the virus. As the day grows in 2000 until 2003, the 62,000 computers are being infected by the viruses, and till now, till 2014, 1 million billion, I don't know how many computers are infected by these viruses. One of the interesting viruses is the Melissa. As you name heard, this is the another virus that fired up with the media was Melissa, a word macrovirus. This is the macrovirus which infect the macros of the computer. When people receive the host word document via email and opened it, the virus sent a copy of itself to the first 50 people in the victim's address book. Means in which that virus is opened on your address book, it takes the first 50 people and send all and automatically send the same virus to them, and named after a dancer in Florida. The Melissa virus crashed the email server of the corporation and governments in different spots around the world. The computer emergency response team set up after the Robert Morris mucked up the internet with his worm in the 1988 and estimated that the virus hits 1 lakh computer in its first weekend. And the David Smith posted an infected file to the alt dot this Usenet grouping or using a stolen AOL account. Initially he entered a plea of innocence, but after being confronted with a maximum sentence of 40 years in the prison, he eventually pled guilty and received a much reduced sentence. One another bug is the or virus is the love you bug. This is also a virus. By almost any measure, the so-called love bug has the most damaging and costly virus ever. I don't know how who comes up with and which makes figure, but according to the Reuters, at the bug cost will the 15 billion in the lost productivity. And this bug spread far faster than Melissa. Unlike Melissa, it would mail itself to everyone in your Outlook. The Melissa took only 50 or your address book or infected PC address book, but this bug took all the addresses, most of whom will be probably the delighted to read about how you love them. Not just the first 50, moreover it would grab the certain media files stored into your hard drive. So this is also a very dangerous virus. And some of the facts about the virus I will like to share with you people. The first is the one German newspaper tragically lost 2000 pictures from its archive. Means they have to keep the proof of their news, and they lost 2000 pictures which can be very illegal. And in the pre-predator turned into the to be a 23-year-old Philippine computer science student who more or less plagiarized all of his code, and he will not be any punished because there is no law of hackers. The lack of laws in the Philippines covering computer crimes, he pretty much got away from his crime. But nowadays we have the many of the rules, the IT Act 2001, and many of the punishment will be here for this crime. So prevention from the viruses is how can we prevent from these viruses, as we talk about viruses, but how can we prevent us from these viruses? The first is upload and use antivirus software. It's very easy. use up antivirus. Your antivirus will be update time to time. It will check your PC again and again, so that no virus will be resided into your computer. Next is, be aware of the emails and attachment you open. Don't open the attachment when the sender is unknown to you. If you are receiving from any attachment from unknown users, please do not open it, because it may have the virus which will infect your PC. Check for updates on antivirus software regularly, means you have to check the antivirus software regularly. And make sure antivirus software is installed correctly. Sometimes we install the antivirus, but all the features of the antivirus will not install properly, and we will not, by not bothering them, we go forward with our work, and it may lose of your data. We will now discuss in detail what is the Trojan horse. A Trojan horse is a malicious program that is disguised as a legitimate software. Means what are the legal software installed on your computer, it will infect that. Like a gift horse left outside the gates of the Troy by the Greeks, the Trojan horse appear to be useful or interesting to the unsuspecting users, but are actually harmful. The Trojan horse program cannot replicate themselves, in contrast to some other type of malware like viruses or worms. A Trojan horse can be deliberately attached to otherwise useful software by a cracker, or it can be spread by tricking users into believing that it is the useful program. And the types of Trojans which can be infect by or to your computer: erasing or overwriting data on the computer, corrupting files in a subtle way, spreading other malware such as viruses. In this case, the Trojan horse is also called a dropper, which drop the viruses onto your computer. Setting up the network of zombie computers in order to launch uh, denial of services attack or send spam to your computer. Logging keystrokes to steal information such as passwords and credit card numbers, known as the keylogger. Fish for bank or other account details, which can be used for criminal activities. Installing a backdoor on a computer system. How can you be infected? So one of the ways, by using the website, which are illegal website. You can be infected by visiting a rogue websites. Internet Explorer is the most often tracked by the makers of Trojans and other pests. Even using a secure web browser such as Mozilla Firefox, if Java is being enabled, your computer has potential of receiving a Trojan horse. Means if you are using the Mozilla Firefox, it might be the probability, and your Java is installed on your computer, it might be a probability you are getting the Trojan horse from it. Then instant message. What are the instant message you are getting from the messengers? Various type of messengers. Many of the get infected through files through various messengers. Like this is due to the extreme lack of security in some instant messengers such as AOL instant messengers, and the email attachments on email message may contain Trojans. Then the sample delivery. This is the one of the attacker which attached the Trojan horse to the email with an enticing header. And the Trojan horse is typically a Windows executable program file and must have executable file extensions such as .exe, .com, .scr, .bat, .pdf. Since Windows is configured by default to hide extension from the user, and the Trojan horse extension might be masked by giving it a name such as a readme.exe. Means this is the extension to give the Trojans. With file extension hidden, the user would only see readme.txt. It could not see the .exe, which could be mistaken for a harmless text file. So where it live? Where the Trojan horse live? It live in your files. The auto start folder is located in the C, window, start, menu, program, startup, and its name suggests automatically start, everything placed there. So win files, Windows system file using load is equal to trojan.exe and run is equal to trojan.exe to executable file. Means only these two files are executed when you boot your computer, when you start your computer. Your window file, your system file, your WinInit file, all the files being infected by this virus. Where it cannot be, it is not as a normal bat file, auto.exe file, configsys file, explorer file, startup files. These are not, there are places where this trojan is. No, the what the attacker wants, what it wants, well, why they are doing this, all this stuff, because they need your credit card information, often used for domain registration, shopping with a credit card. They want any accounting data like your email passwords, dial-up passwords, web service passwords, so they can access your internet without your knowledge. Your email addresses might be used for spamming as explained above, work projects which steal your presentations, work related papers, etc. Your children names, your pictures, your ages, because all of your data, all of your passwords are being named with all that, and school work which are paper published with your patent rights, etc. Are you infected? How will we see the virus is come to your PC? It's normal to visit a website and several more pop-ups to appear with one you have visited. But when you do completely nothing and suddenly your browser directs you to some page unknown to you, take that serious. The strange and unknown window message box appear on your screen asking you some personal questions. This can be the virus. Your window settings change by themselves like a new screensaver text, date, time, sound volume changes by itself. It means the virus is already come to your PC. Your mouse moves by itself. The CD-ROM drawers open and closes. So these are the some of the. So well-known Trojan is ASC bot is a tremendous backdoor Trojan which was designed for performing a lot of different destructive action. The parasite detects, terminate and totally disable the running active antivirus software installed on the target computer. And the AS port also connect to the IRC network and uses it for giving the hacker a remote control over the compromised system. Moreover, the Trojan is able to connect to various malicious server and download other harmful parasites from there. So, the second Trojan display fake security related messages. When the user click on such a message, the Trojan open malicious websites that quietly installed potentially harmful software. The second also serve undesirable commercial advertisement. And this DMSys is a dangerous Trojan that specializes in infecting various instant messengers and stealing user confidential information. By using these keystrokes logging technique, this DMSys easily steals user passwords and captures private conversation. This information is written into the log file which is then sent to the hacker. So these are the two DMSys or SecUp. These are the two well-known Trojans. Next come the trapdoor or backdoor. This is also one of the technique in which virus can come to your PC. The secret entry point into the system. When the software developer develop your system for you, they keep the backdoor entry. So that specific user identifier or password that circumvents normal security procedure, means they are not cheating your this normal security. They have some backdoor entry from where they can come to your PC and make harm to your PC. That comes the commonly used by the developer could be included into the compiler. So it infects the compiler. Compiler is the main software program which is running your all the data, all the system files, and it will infect that. That comes the logic bomb. It is also one of type of Trojans which is embedded in the legitimate program and activated when the specific condition meet. For example, presence, absence of some file, particular date, time or particular year, means some triggers can be applied to the files, and when you particularly you particularly the date come, that time come in the day, or some file, you open some file or some close some file, that logic bomb will be appeared, and when triggered typically damage system, and it modifies the data, delete the files or disk etc. onto your system. One of the example of the logic bomb is in 1982, the Trans-Siberian pipeline incident occurred. And what is that? A KGB operative was to steal the plans of a sophisticated control system and its software from a Canadian firm. For use on their Siberian pipeline, the CIA was tipped off by the document in the firewall dossier and had a company insert a logic worm in the program for the subtage purpose. This eventually resulted in the most monumental non-nuclear explosion and fire ever seen from the space.